Don't you just love technology sometimes?
22 weeks in, we got to get it right.
God, let me just change this real quick.
Well, thanks for
Yeah, not
bearing
not
with us, everyone, and thanks for
yeah.
handling that door.
No problem. Not sure what happened, but yeah, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I've had a good week. God, I turned 38, so I'm in my late 30s. Uh, what
Man,
else?
the amount of I know a few weeks ago, Maddie from OG said
Yes,
nobody appreciates or values free stuff.
yes,
Okay, I get that to an extent.
yeah.
Nothing is free per se because it's being paid for by someone somewhere.
Yeah, no such thing as a free lunch, right?
No, but I mean, you leverage those birthday perks. I mean, you got all these restaurants usually have like a free birthday dessert
Yeah, I
or
did
a
take
free
advantage of it
meal.
yesterday.
I think Denny's does a full on like wham bam thank you ma'am dinner situation. Um
Maybe Grand Slam,
Starbucks,
thank you, ma'am.
yeah, Starbucks does a free beverage.
Starbies,
See
Dutch
the
Bros.
the key to Starbucks though is I know you can do, I made this mistake a few years ago before I had the app was I'm like, oh, I heard about the free Starbucks. I'm like, oh, I'll get the app.
Yeah,
And it was a couple days before my birthday. It's like you must do it 7 days before your birthday. And I was not past that 7 day window. And I'm like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding. I had to wait 365 freaking more days to get that. But
I feel
anyways,
like I missed out on my Dutch Bros yesterday, right? Like I
right.
tried to squeeze it in, but it was a busy day,
Hmm.
and I felt like I like missed out on something. Like I felt like I failed because I didn't redeem that, like almost like a video game, right? Like
Hmm.
I missed an item in the level, but
Right.
then I'm just
Yeah.
like, dude, it's just a coffee.
You
I can
can't get to the final boss yet.
exactly. So
That being
yeah,
said though,
I did take advantage of some birthday perks yesterday.
thing is though, is that you have to leverage the free drink, but also push the line a little bit. You got to see
Mm,
how much of the freeness you can get because
mm,
is an extra shot included? Is an
mhm.
extra whip included?
In this
Extra
economy, I
syrup.
highly doubt it. I'd
Well, we're
have
not
to.
asking. I'm not asking for eggs in my coffee, Joey.
That's
I'm not.
royalty. That's
I'm
I have a
not
few
doing
in my
that.
fridge right now. That's
Do
pretty.
you?
You want me to go
Facebook
get them?
Marketplace.
Maybe one
Like
each.
the remember how long ago they offered like the Facebook Gold where you paid like $3 a month or whatever it was, and you could get like the higher end Facebook or something.
I
I think they
do,
tried it for like a little bit,
but
but
I have something.
look at I have
All this
something
birthday
better.
talk. Happy birthday
The Prince
to.
of the Rag
I
Company,
was
ladies and
just gonna
gentlemen.
say it, Dane the Rock Hennon.
Man, no,
You know, I know it's Dane the Stonehennon, but like it's
yeah.
also Dwayne the Rock's Johnson's birthday today too.
Is
So
it?
yeah,
Okay.
that was well. I mean, have you ever seen the two of them in the same place at the same time?
I have not seen Dwayne's
Mm.
Johnson. I don't
I
see no
mean,
way.
I'm not talking about Dwayne and Johnson. I'm talking about Dwayne and Dane.
Dwayne and Dane. It's better than okay. Would you audience leave a comment live or after the fact? Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart are just BFFs. Now,
Mhm.
are we thinking that Dane and Dwayne are going to be better BFFs? The old D&D?
I don't
I
know, man. That's a special relationship there.
At least the height's a little closer.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Kevin Hart's
That's
like what 5'1", 5'2",
he's tiny. He's
you
pretty. He's
know.
pretty tiny.
Um, I just it's funny though. But
Not.
yes,
You know what? You were much taller in person than I thought you were going to be.
see now there was that photo of us, the five of us. There was
Mm-hmm.
Anthony, Dane, yourself, Sydney, and myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't know if Dane was kind of like on the hill road slant or what he was doing, but I'm like, I'm not. I didn't think I was a couple inches taller. I don't.
Well,
Few
I
inches make a
mean,
big difference.
the amount of segues that you successfully pulled off that week possibly increased your stature a little bit.
Right. That's possible.
I
Never
mean,
stop growing.
it didn't go to your head; it went
No.
to your height.
No. Nothing's going to my head. But yeah, lots of happy birthdays. Thank you to the chat to Dean. May's a busy month for birthdays.
Tauruses, baby.
I Tauruses. Yeah, I'm a Cancer. Actually, my birthday is the same day as Anthony's other half.
Oh, nice.
We share that in common.
All of us May babies are all the end of the summer
Mm,
consummations going on.
yeah, that cool, crisp air.
Yeah. 9 months later,
That's
those
what it gets you.
maybes, as Dane said, those maybes pop out.
Yeah. Well,
It's a weird Friday. I don't
but
have coffee. I have a Diet
you
Dr. Pepper.
DDP,
Yeah,
DDP
it was a
from a
birthday present.
bottle, not
It was
McDonald's.
a birthday present. It was delivered to my door.
Okay, what else did you get?
I got funny story. I got donuts delivered to my door.
Yep.
It came with a nice chocolate milk.
Mm-hmm.
And I got Starbucks delivered to my door that came with a breakfast sandwich. And I got a bag of gummies, a variety of assorted gummies that came to my door with a Diet Dr. Pepper.
Are these
regular gummies, not
supplies?
THC gummies? I didn't have
Oh,
to
you
show
just
ID
went there.
for these.
Okay, no,
correct.
You just flashed your birthday card, like
yeah, my birthday suit.
Mm.
But let me tell you. So these donuts, it was 4 donuts or
Doug's
so
nuts?
I thought. I go to eat this final one today. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to leave one donut behind. And I didn't realize that this was a sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich, not a donut. So imagine my taste buds and my brain malfunctioning when I bit into this thing.
Yeah.
It was like a croissant that had been like panini'd.
Okay.
But I thought it was a donut.
Yeah.
Because
should have started with that one.
None of the sausage, egg, or cheese was showing itself until I bit into it. And I was thrown for a loop. So that was my weird thing today.
Dean chiming in. I looked insanely short in that photo.
You do.
Wide angle lens is doubtedly unflattering, making the central subject appear shorter.
Oh no! I don't know who took the photo. I think it might have been Tony. But he I don't know what lens he used.
I don't know. I don't know if Dane's doing full protein or just being smarter or a combination, because the diet and exercise, it's an 80-20. It's 80% diet, 20% exercise, right?
Yeah.
Now, whatever I don't know if instead of people take pre-workout and all the powdered supplements, I feel like he's doing something for his hair, because his hair is just looking much better.
Fish oils? I don't some maybe? Vitamins sometimes, some biotin.
Some vitamin H for hair. I don't know if that's
vitamin H. I think that's what it is. Yeah, we do have to age the gummies. I did dive into one bag a little premature. Sometimes I have to check. Like it may have been sitting on the shelf for a while,
right?
And may already be hard or firm.
I was gonna do a segue there, but it just wasn't happening. Firm,
aged,
stiff. You know what else is stiff? Is our guest's hair. This stuff has never been standing up. Never been standing up taller. What do you say we bring him in?
Bring the man in.
The man behind the email.
Many requests for this guy.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, Lucas from customer service.
There he is.
What's going on, boys?
Look at this.
There he is.
Look
Finally. Okay. Finally got Lucas on here. There.
First question I have, though. Did you pull a Carson, and were you allowed to leave work early to do this?
I got off at 4 anyway, so I was chilling.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, fair enough. Look at that.
I thought you were going to ask him his hair secrets, because I've already asked him his hair secrets, and I don't think you can. I don't think we need to talk about that live on air, because
in Idaho's not. I mean, it's
Idaho.
I'm sure it has wind and stuff, but I don't think it's windy enough to be able to do that on the daily.
Nah, it's just a little bit of blow dryer and hair product action. You know what I mean?
There
he goes. He gave it away.
Yeah.
A little bit of sea salt spray.
The sea salt really does it. It really, it does feel like you've been to the beach.
The bottled salt water.
It's quite nice.
That's all it is, man.
Dang.
People Lucas, how has your week been, man? I know I've worked in customer service many times. I know what that's like. And I know how good the Friday feels sometimes if you've had a crazy week. But how has it been for you?
Honestly, I mean, lately it's been great, especially after sales and whatnot. It keeps me super busy. But if I'm being honest, this week it's been a little bit slower. So Fridays kind of just drag a little bit longer. So, but we're here. We're through the weekend. Time to get to some detailing. You know what I mean?
Heck yeah, baby. Yep. Heck yeah.
I cannot wait. What the sale at TRCMA, I know the warehouse is going absolutely insane, but I can only imagine that customer service is also going insane.
It's that's hard. I think that's hard to recover from. You know, it's like when you're out partying with your friends and then you need a couple days to recover. At least in your 30s, you do. Lucas would spring back up first thing in the morning.
Well, funny enough is it's super busy during like that sale week during TRCMA, but what really hits is like the couple weeks after when people, like start to get orders, they have questions about what they got, things like that. So like it's usually the week or two after that's like really, really, really busy.
Like the day after Christmas in retail, the return
but,
everything and get that store credit for what you want.
Yeah. I love the stores that are like, there are no refunds until the new year. Thank you very much.
Right.
Yeah.
But,
oh man.
That's what we need to do. I mean, you
guys
talk to some people.
You guys are getting stuff out fast though. Like stuff was, Joey and I and many others were asking the audience like, hey, if you want anything signed, send it over. But there was times where it's like, hey, this already went out. We don't have it. You know, like sometimes it wasn't caught in time. You know, it wasn't a couple weeks.
Well, it's actually crazy because we had an ERP change in around, I want to say like October-ish, but in years past, like TRCMA, we usually put out a banner like, hey, allow up to so many business days processing time. And you get a super big influx of like calls and emails like, hey, can I add this to my order? Or can I change this on my order, take this off, etc. And this year, dude, our warehouse team was like 2 on top of it to where most people were like, hey, like I need to change this on my order. I'm like, well, actually,
wow, that's impressive.
Jeez.
Which is great. Like, shout out warehouse team.
That's impressive.
That's very impressive. Because like
even like the third day of TRCMA, like there was people's orders that were placed either like the night before or that morning, and they were already shipped out by noon.
And so I had messaged you because I was worried because I had left my Grandambassador jersey there, and Anthony happened to find it on like a Friday afternoon or so. I don't remember what day it was, and I was like, well, I don't want to just ask them to like mail me something like that I forgot. So I was like, I'm just gonna place a small order real quick and then like message Lucas and be like, can you throw my jersey in there? But I was like really worried that it was gonna go out before that.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was able to catch that one early.
Yes, I appreciate it.
Joey's orders are just flagged for like, okay, we give this one 2 days.
Give this one 2 days because he's indecisive and forgetful.
That's right. So I guess that's a good segue to the next question is, because I remember you guys talking about that, both on the Q&A and just, our group chats and stuff like that. So with that new system, was there a lot of growing pains at the beginning, or it was really smooth and solid? Like how crammed were you with stuff going wrong or going great or whatever? Or is this bringing back?
I'll be the first one to tell you. I would love to tell you that it was smooth right off the get-go, but it took... To this day, like there's still certain tweaks and whatnot that we find here and there, but it took a minute, probably I would say a good month or two before we like fully got everything fine-tuned, just because we did as much testing as we could before the ERP went live, but you can only do so much, you know what I mean? So it was difficult.
the sandbox can only hold you back so much until you got to get out into the playground. Like,
oh yeah, because basically what it did is, so we had, not to go too deep into it, but we have, at least on my side of things, we have like 3 different systems that we use. And it's like, you've probably heard of these, like ShipStation. And then we had one for like our inventory and ordering called Sin7. And then trying to think of like what the Shopify, which is obviously what we go through and a lot of people go through. But basically what the new system did was combine 2 of those programs. And it's a lot more advanced, which is better, but that also means it's more advanced to learn. So it just, it took a lot. It took some training for sure.
Did you guys see any like decline in like your service level for getting packages out during that time? Or was there like a nice little buffer of time?
No. So we did let people know. So when we first launched the ERP, there was a couple things that like when you launch it, you have to do some like fine tuning here and there. So we did put out a banner on the website at that time, and it had something to do with like, hey, if you place an order right now, please note that it will not ship out until this day. So we had like around, I don't remember exactly the time, but I want to say it was like a week. It's like 5 business days. Like, hey, like this week, we're just trying to get everything moved over to the new system. So, but other than that, though, like everything, we were able to get stuff out smoothly.
Fair enough. And yeah, I just put the acronym in the chat for those that were wondering. That's unless Google's lying to me, enterprise resource planning. So
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even know that's what ERP stood for. So.
But that's
we use these acronyms like all day long, and we're just like, yeah, this, and I'm like, sometimes I sit back and think about it, and I go, I don't know what that stands for.
There's actually meetings at work where they'll, like our whole team, our pretty broad team will be talking, and they'll be using acronyms, and like in the chat it'll be explain the acronym, stop using acronyms, because certain teams will know but we won't. So I hate that disconnect. But also there's a couple people in our office that one of their acronyms is TRC for something, and I keep just like my head just immediately like turns every time I hear TRC. So I'm like, you guys got to switch that up.
There's a breakfast place that we like to go to, like a few blocks away from here. That's called Toasted Rooster Cafe, and they have a big metal TRC.
Oh no!
And like, so we go over, there's just right there behind the bar.
Do we need to go after them? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I don't think I think they're in like a completely like irrelevant field to you guys. So
should we?
Fair enough.
Should we FedEx a cease and desist, or should we use? I don't know.
UPS
PSA.
and USPS.
We don't use FedEx.
Oh,
UPS and USPS only.
And speaking of acronym clarification, it's Federal Express
with the little arrow inside.
Yeah, with the arrow.
More you know.
E and the X. Yeah, the little arrow.
But Lucas, how I want to know. I think other people want to know if they don't know you. But how did you get involved with the rag company? I want to know. Was detailing a part of your life, a big part of your life, not at all beforehand? Did that come first? Did TRC come first? What was your take me through your journey? Take us through.
That's a good question. So, I mean, depends on how deep you want me to go. So originally so I started working at the rag company in January of 2022. And for around, I want to say in my dad works at the rag company, Anthony Blaine, if you guys met him.
AB
is what a lot of people
Shout
call
out
him.
AB.
What a good guy.
So AB had started working there. I don't know how long before me, but he was there quite a bit before me. And right when he got on, he's like, hey man, like you got to come work. Like this place is amazing. I was like, okay. And at the time I was only 17, and at the time we were only hiring at 18 plus, especially for like warehouse and whatnot. And so I was actually working at UPS unloading trucks and whatnot for a little bit.
Heck yeah.
So he had told me, he's like, hey, so before I even started working at UPS, he's like, hey, you got to come work for the rag company. I was like, I'll think about it. With rags, you know what I mean?
Towels, why?
And then, I'm like, I don't even know what the rag company is.
Yeah.
So I got a job at UPS and then worked there for a little bit. And I was like, okay, this kind of sucks, not gonna lie. So I talked to my dad again. He's like, oh, come on to the rag company. I was like, okay, like I'll think about it. Like, what's the rag company? I didn't even look it up or anything, but
what were you doing at UPS?
So I was unloading trucks mainly, or loading trucks, but mainly I was an unloader. Okay. That's what I was much better at.
Right on.
Sweet.
So, and then my dad was like, hey, you should come work here. So I was like, okay. So I sent in my information and a resume to, I think it was Gabe, funny enough. So I sent in a resume, and I got an interview scheduled that next week. Went and interviewed, and I got a tour of the whole place. And I was like, dang, like this is my kind of place.
Not just towels, baby. Not just towels.
I was like, this is sick.
Where are the rags?
Right. So I got the interview, landed the job, and then they were like, hey, like when do you want to start, basically? And so I was like, shoot, I'll start as soon as I can. So I went and put in my 2 weeks at UPS, and then so I started working at warehouse for I want to say so I started in January of 2022. And I was in warehouse up until around May of 2023. And basically my dad we were just having a conversation after work one day. He's like, yeah, I think they want to hire somebody for CS. And I kind of more jokingly, I was like, I'll do it. He's like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah, I'd love to. And then he put in a little note to, I think Carolyn was the one that was kind of looking for it at the time. And then next thing you know, so Aaron had already been hired at that point. So, and Aaron was, kind of running, he was taking over for the manager of CS. And he came into the warehouse one day and he's like, hey, little birdie told me that you're interested in the CS position. I was like, I am interested. And so the next day I had an interview for customer service, and here we are.
It takes a special person to like jump in and be like, I want to do customer service, because like
that's a big deal. You're literally the director of first impressions.
You're on the front lines.
Yeah,
right. Well, and the thing was, it was like in warehouse, like I was always kind of that annoying guy where I was into this is how I got into detailing. So I was always I was a big car guy like in high school and whatnot, and I always knew as far as career and when I kind of realized I didn't want to go to college anymore and I wasn't going to go, I was like I want to do something in the automotive industry, and I didn't want to go the mechanic route because I just wasn't my thing, and I figured,
maybe
especially with everybody trying to move to EVs and whatnot, I was like mechanic shops aren't, they're it's kind of a dime a dozen these days. You know what I mean? They're not going to keep growing as much as the EV and all that stuff is going. So I was like, I need to find something else. And I was into car care. So before the rag company, I was using never a chemical guy or anything like that, but I did have an Armor All bucket kit that I was gifted.
Let's go.
Ooh,
Let's go.
And I was, putting the wax in the bucket and just hand washing with, whatever sponge from Walmart.
Yeah.
So I was always into car care, just not to the extent that you see here.
Polish
keeping your stuff looking
as clean as I can with what I had.
Exactly.
So then, as I got into the rag company, I started getting products, started getting leakers, B grade towels and things like that. Started playing with, premium stuff. And I was like,
best kind,
this is my thing,
Yeah.
So then I was always that guy in the warehouse. Every time we bring on new products and whatnot, I was always looking at it, seeing if I could sniff it and whatnot. I was like, got to get some of this stuff. And then, so by the time I got the opportunity to land the role for customer service, my knowledge was pretty high in detailing, at least compared to a lot of like the average person and whatnot. So that helped me get a big segue into there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and then over time, I kind of just became like more of, we have 3 people. We have a small department for customer service. There's 3 of us, but I'm probably the most, detail expert of
enthusiast,
the most sought after. I would say in the Q&A comments,
the best hair, I will say.
Well, what can I say? That's just
have you like
I mean?
So when are we doing the meetup with Tamara Chase? When is that happening? It has to happen.
I need to go out to the East Coast and I need to meet Tamara. That's my biggest fan. We love Tamara. She's the sweetest lady in the world.
Tell me one company where Terry from yesterday, the one who shall remain nameless. We know his real name, but we're not going to say
it up, Terry.
Lucas.
Kevin, I'm with you. I'd love to come with you.
Oh, there it is. He just said it. Lucas used to come to the East Coast visit Tamara. It's salt water, salt spray in the hair.
Oh yeah, you won't need the salt water spray over there.
Not at all.
You just wake up in the morning and stick your head out the window.
It's natural.
And but yeah, and I mean it's the Q&A does go pretty far, and I think that does help most people, but obviously I'm sure there's many customers, both businesses and just individuals, that have never heard of the Q&A and never think about it.
Right.
And a lot of those questions that I think you get, you don't want to say, hey, watch the Q&A, but even with a lot of it, you just kind of watch a couple YouTube detailers and whatnot, and you kind of get a sense of, yes, this is the proper process. But, at the end of the day, you Joey and I mentioned this before, we kind of take it for granted when, people don't know, to be like, well, why do I have to use what's the ceramic coating stuff? Why do I have to do a iron removal before? Or what's a chemical decontamination versus mechanic? You know what I mean? Like it's all these questions that we take for granted. So is there kind of a most common question you get on the day-to-day via phone or email? If there is even a common one?
Honestly, that's a great question. I would say and not to be cliche, it's, you get new questions every single day. To this day, there's stuff that gets my gears turning, and even I have to go, like, I'm still learning day by day. Like, as much as I consider myself, I'm a professional detailer and stuff, but I'm always still learning. There's always new processes, methods, products that I'm learning about. So, even earlier today, I had a question where I was like, think I know how to answer that, but I should probably go talk to some of the guys in media and see if they have a better recommendation, kind of thing. I would say for the most part,
as a customer, like by you being honest with me and telling me you don't know, but like why don't we go find out together, kind of thing. Like
it's like that Jason Momoa meme. It's like I don't have that answer for you yet, but I'll do everything in my power to get you that information.
Exactly. And that goes a long way, at least in my eyes, when I'm working with a brand.
And I've never been. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was about to say, not to boast or anything, but I think that's what separates TRC from a lot of other companies. Is that's what we do. We strive for education, and we want to make sure customers know what they're doing before they use it or mess it up or have a complaint, because
the people who can get those answers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I've never been in a hiring position, really, well, not really, in any serious job that I've had. But I mean, if you can drop that, even if you're not working customer service directly, every job that you work, no matter what it is, there's going to be problems to solve at every level. And if you're in an interview and you kind of drop that information of, may not have the answer, but I know that I'll do my best to get it. I think that'll get you a step ahead.
Yeah,
during
absolutely.
that landing that position and really give you the ability to separate yourselves from everyone else. And that's half the battle, because you have, you literally go across the parking lot and you have this amazing resource of people to get these questions answered
in or
right?
whatever. I don't know the protocol. I don't know, like, if you call someone's extension or you just pop your head in there and you.
I mean, he's not calling Anthony because his phone's never.
Anthony
charged,
will not pick
never
up.
there. No.
That's absolutely. I have to kick down doors like the SWAT team, and I'm like, "Hey,
you
guys,
got to, you got to kick down like bathroom stalls looking for Anthony."
Yeah.
Actually, the bathroom is probably a safe bet. Let's be real.
But yeah, I'd say is to answer your question as far as like the most common questions. It's we have a wide range of customers, whether it's professionals, people that own shops, car washes, weekend warriors, things like that. Usually, a lot of the main questions are, what is the best product for this? Like that's kind of what it boils down to.
That's fair enough. And it's got to be hard because I think we all deep down kind of have our favorite brands, and it's hard to kind of have everything of everything. And at least you have the freedom to kind of test stuff to kind of get, okay, this is the scenario in my conditions, whether it's at home or at work, which are going to be fairly similar. But it's also one of those things that, you can kind of take yes, the term flavor of the week goes around, but there's certain products that kind of peak. And, if there's a sale on PNS or ADS or Starnagloss or GTEC, whatever, there's kind of the influx of, people buying that specific product at that time. So it kind of rides the wave. And, it's fun. But also I think too, is that like, yes, you can kind of give your recommendations, but you can say, hey, other people like this. But also too, I think it's important to ask questions of what's your environment? Like if you don't have a garage or any inside abilities, you're not going to be coating a car with a traditional coating. You could probably get away with phobic. You could probably get away with the plethora of spray sealants that if you just want beating.
Carlos Serrano hear you say that.
No, shout out to Carlos.
He'll prove you wrong.
Actually, yeah, segueing a little bit, Carlos did the most amazing birthday song to Joey yesterday. That was absolutely
as soon as I saw a video show up in my DMs, I was like, I know what this is. Like before I even hit play, it was the most amazing thing ever.
But yeah, it's one of those things that it's nice that you guys have so many products, so many knowledgeable people, and I know that the towels alone can be pretty overwhelming, and the products too. Like if I showed somebody completely new, go pick something, right? But that's kind of where the kits and stuff come in that I love, and I've purchased other fields and other industries and look for kits for stuff. So whenever you guys do a kit sale, like does Anthony ever try to involve you guys, or does he just kind of pick what he wants, or kind of what's that process?
Yes and no. It depends. So like I know as of recent, there's been times where basically somebody, whether it's Anthony, Josh Brodel or something, they'll come over to me and be like, hey, not that I'm the final say or anything. They're just like, hey, give us a few ideas of what you would like to see in this, and this, or like there's been times where I've even said like, hey, we should open up some more kits for this. And they're like, okay, well, send us a list of what you think you'd like. And I'll basically, and again, not that I'm the main guy that's doing this or anything. I'm just a small part of the pie, but I'll put in what I think we should do as far as like a concept for whatever. And then, and then they kind of tweak it and fine tune it from there to make more sense. Cause maybe I'm all over the place with stuff.
I mean, it's cool to get that feedback though from like other departments, right? Because like you're stuck in your way, like like when I'm at work, like I'm focused here, right? Like tunnel vision on boom, just this. Yeah. But like you get a completely different perspective the moment you look over here and you go, well, what do you think about this? Like, oh, I didn't think about that at all. Like that's very valuable, and I think that's cool that they involve other teams in. Like we've said many times, the whole place feels like a big family, and that includes like every part of it. Not just these wackos on camera.
Oh, the comments are. If you're in the comments, do drop a like. We have 22 currently watching. And,
so I had
8 likes. So certainly drop that.
obviously I want to get into your professional detailing, but while we're still on the topic of what you currently do, Steve Pearson has a good question that says, Lucas, what's your typical day at TRC like?
Oh, I like that question.
What's give us a little day in the life?
Well, shoot, I would say if I'm not doing anything as far as like R&D or videos, stuff like that goes, regular day would be me coming into work, open on my computer, fired up, kind of browse through the emails. And I always want to start bottom to top. You know, I don't want to leave anybody waiting unless it's like something super high priority. So like you kind of bang out those first. So you'll like mainly like request like, hey, can I cancel my order because of this, or I forgot to do this, want to change something with it.
The Joey's.
So you kind of do, so you get to Joey's first. You do high priority stuff that should be taken care of before.
Where's my
something
jersey?
Can go wrong.
I forgot it. I'm a klutz. Oh my god.
No, I don't have a pack.
And then from there, you know, and us as a team, we kind of go through, review everything and whatnot. And then, you know, phone calls start ringing. We usually have those from around starts at. So I mean, I'm technically 8 to 4. But as far as phone calls go, we usually have that kind of open from like 8:30 to 4. So once that starts going, we try as best as possible to answer every single phone call. That's one of the big things that we pride ourselves on is you know, we don't want you to talk to robots. We don't want you to be left in the dark. And then but yeah, just emails, phone calls. That's kind of the bulk of my work. And then I help a lot of other people out with stuff here and there, like, you know, with like business program applications. From time to time, I'll help with that. You know, sometimes during the week, we'll have like sessions where we need to R&D on whether it's a new product or something that we are going to be onboarding that, you know, maybe we haven't fully tested or don't know everything about. So we'll get a bunch of us in there for that to kind of get some more opinions and whatnot and get us all together to collectively decide whether it's either worth bringing on or if, you know, if there's anything that we should recommend from the manufacturer, the brand change, things like that. But yeah.
I thought we were going to start with like what temperature setting the hair dryer's on.
Is it cool or hot?
I mean, if we're
air?
Going that deep, you know, wake up, brush my teeth, take a piss, you know, get a shower.
Do you have a hair dryer at your desk?
And not at my desk, but do right in the bathroom. Right.
Got a 12. Here's a 12-volt one in the car. The cigarette lighter.
Here's the tip: you start with heat to dry. You end it on a cold session because the cold gets the volume. That's what you got.
It's like a workout.
Right, dude. A lot of people don't know about that cold tip.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. It took me forever to learn that tip too.
I don't have enough hair.
Everything better.
I used to have a big hairstyle too, not like that, but like a lot of it. And setting it with the cold, man.
Hot then finish
cold.
With the
That's what you gotta shock the surface. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. It's like 2 pH, bro. It's like 2
from running late. Roll down the windows, let it do its thing.
And then selfishly, I have a question before we move on to Diamond Tough, and I want to know.
I want to hear it.
Wildest customer service call or request. Just give me one.
Dude,
give me one of the wild ones. Oh, you got a lot. You can give us a couple if you've got a bunch.
Yeah. What makes you push your chair away from your desk and just
hold on a second.
Hands on the face? Like, did that really just happen?
I'll tell you this: I've had multiple phone calls that were over an hour long.
Good.
Oh, that must be with DJ Mayo.
Oh no! My calls with DJ are super quick because he never needs to talk to me. He needs to talk to our purchasing manager or somebody upstairs,
and then they talk for an hour.
Right. Here's my phone calls with DJ Mayo. Thank you for calling the Rag Company. This is Lucas. Hey buddy, it's DJ. How you doing? Pretty good. How about you? Can I speak to blank? Here you go. I'll transfer you over. Those are my phone calls with DJ.
So efficient. So efficient.
But you know, I've had. My record, I want to say I had an hour and 37-minute phone call. That was fun.
Wow.
I mean, I got my story about the first customer that ever cussed me out on the phone, who is somebody that we'll talk about this off camera, but somebody that you're both familiar with.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very
I would say
fun.
as of recent, the fun one is I had a older gentleman. Don't remember where he's from or anything like that, but you know, we talked about detailing for I want to say like 5 to 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden, it took this turn where he was going on some racist rant, talking about
what?
Oh, dude, it got crazy.
What?
Because he started talking about he had said something about the tariffs. I was like, yeah, you know, tariffs are hitting us all. And then it went on to him talking about the Chinese and the Japanese and samurais and this and that, and how
wow,
and how we nuked Japan and how we should have did it harder. And then at that point was when I was
good
like,
God.
all right, man, is there anything else I can help you out with? Because I gotta get going. You know?
Yeah, deflection. Holy smokes!
Don't tell
dude,
them that
it
the
was,
towels
it
are
was
Korean.
great. To be honest, like if you're from it is messed up as it sounds, is as messed up as it was. I had to mute myself because I was laughing at this point. I was like, how the hell did we even get on this topic? You know what I mean?
A lot of people.
So at that point, I had to go right back to him. I was like, hey, brother, I gotta go.
Yeah,
a lot of people who call customer service, sometimes like you're the only people that they've talked to that day.
Yeah,
and they've just got a lot to get off their chest.
God, dude, I got there's a select few people that I regularly talk to either on email or phone calls where you know, I think they just don't have a lot of interactions with people, so they just need it gives them somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
In my professional career, I've kind of upgraded from kind of the talking on the phone to everyone all day long sort of thing. I've you know, improved from that. Not proved, but you know, I don't envy the ones that, you know, working in IT having to field those initial calls. But you know, there's certain people how it's amazing how you take them from a certain level of frustration and you just kill them with kindness, and they don't know how to react. They almost break, you know, and they just don't know what to say, don't know what to do. But also, like, customer service wise, I would absolutely hate a phone call because I prefer email personally. There's a written record, so I can kind of go back, reread everything, make sure it's all there. Because but yeah, like you said, there's people who just are there to just talk, and that's all they want to do. And that's if they're retired, that's totally okay. Part of the day.
So, you know, if it's a slow day, sometimes I enjoy it myself. It gives me a conversation. It gives me somebody to talk to. You know, I have people that ask, you know, how's the weather up in Boise, Idaho? Oh, I live here. This is how it is for us. What's going on up there? You know, things like that.
Yeah, and no, like that's the cool part is like you also get to talk to these people from all these different walks of life. And like there's been times that at least I've gotten, you know, a phone call in my customer service days where I'm like, I really don't want to do this. Like I don't want to deal with this right now. But then you just take that extra time with that person, and I go, wow, that was actually the most pleasant experience of my entire day. Like I had no reason to like dread that.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, and one thing and something that keeps me going is, you know, I can't lie. I'm going to be honest. Like there's some days where I come in, I'm like, dude, I don't want to freaking talk to anybody on the phone about some stupid shit that I don't care about. You know what I mean? But then you do it, and at the end of the day, like they're so happy about it, and they're so happy that they got to talk to somebody. I'm like, I would have really hated if they didn't get that opportunity because I don't know what's going on in their lives. So if I can make their days a little bit better for, you know, whether it has to do with detailing or not, it's a win in my eyes.
Yep.
That's the way I look at it.
I will say that 30-minute buffer in the morning has got to be nice though. That, you know, that get settled, you know, I don't know if you're a coffee guy at all, but you know, there we go. little EJs or EDs, energy drinks, EJs.
Gotta get them.
I was thinking energy juice. But no, you kind of have that 30 minutes, you know, to kind of decompress a little bit. Cause like, I've had it where you've had that first thing in the morning and the phone's ringing right away. And you're just like, man, I haven't even had a sip of the coffee yet. I'm not even settled. I'm not ready to go. And there's some people who are very open about things very early in the morning for a very long time.
They've obviously had their coffee already and you haven't, and they're just ready to go.
Well, especially with time zones. Like I get a call for me at 8:30 in the morning. For them, it's 11:30. They're up for the day. They're ready to go.
They're ready.
Like, bro, I don't have the energy that you got right now. But gotta do what you gotta do.
So there's actually a great question here from the man at the apron who wants the clay pocket juice free. Lucas, what's the hardest question you had to answer for a customer?
Hardest question.
He's like, nothing.
Hardest question.
Like, I know it all.
I'm a genius. You know what I mean? I know everything. I don't need no help. But no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, here we go.
Usually, I would say in general, as far as the topic goes, one thing that gets hard for me is when somebody calls and, you know, usually they're newer to detailing or something. They're like, hey, what's the best pad in compound combo.
Yeah.
I'm like, for what? Like,
yeah.
There's so many different things. And they're like, okay, well, here's the car I have. I'm like, okay, well, how bad is the defects? What's your goals? What are you trying to do? I just want to polish it. I want to make it look good.
Yeah.
Well, shoot,
do you have a machine? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Right.
It's tough when you know that there are so many different variables and levels, but then you have to take a step back and go, they're where I was years ago, right?
Yeah.
Like,
or when it's stuff when they try to pin you into a corner of something that I don't want to recommend or answer at all. It's like, hey, I have a Harbor Freight orbital sander. What pad and compound should I use? I'm like, well, first of all, get a new machine. Well, I don't want it. This is what I want to use. What should I use? Don't do it at that point. Like,
do you have the 10-inch bonnets for the wax applicator thing? Like,
Sydney has those.
Yep.
Probably.
Yep. But
I mean, for applying wax, screw it. That sounds like a great idea to me. Yeah. But
well, wax you use Gabe's old socks.
Right.
That's what you use to apply. Specifically Gabe's.
Sorry, my dog's barking up a storm in there.
No, dude, we love dogs. Right. We love when they bark. We love.
You guys want to meet my dog?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's
we love pets on here.
Hey, come here.
Yeah, I know. I know this has kind of come up before about the Lucas TRC crew. It might be worthwhile developing your own pad polish chart with rough hardness paint ranges. I think that would be pretty interesting. It'd be hard, but it'd be interesting.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my goodness!
Oh my gosh!
Let me make Lucas big here.
Everybody,
yeah.
Oh, get a look at my fluffy boy.
What is his name?
His name is Ace.
Ace. What's up, Ace? That's a good dog name.
I like it. I'm happy about it.
That's a good dog name. Yeah, that is a good idea, Sheepstar. That the pad polish chart would be kind of cool. It's just, again, there's just so many variables. Gosh.
The only issue with this is that not every company does the exact same pad in every color for every application.
Yes.
There's no standard.
Right.
Like the brand will have a standard, but it's not standard on the industry, which is
I've made that mistake thinking that one brand's color was the other brand's color.
Well,
hold up.
I remember when I first started, I was like, "Oh, I'll just get this one because I like the color." I like the orange or I like the blue.
I vibe with this one.
Yeah, I vibe, right? But also too, it's like you dig a little, just a little bit. You just search a little bit, and then you're like, "Oh, this is okay. This is going to be a sledgehammer. This is, because I'm sure there's people that buy a black or red finishing pad, and it doesn't do squat, and then you get yelled at because they didn't know. Bro,
imagine how I felt when I had the Chemical Guys 4-step polish system, and their 8 different color pads, and some had dimples in it and some didn't, and I thought I needed to have them all, and I needed to use all 4 of these products with all 8 of these pads. It's very confusing.
Yeah, I remember when we lost Lucas there for a quick second. I remember with
thumbs down.
There we go. I remember when Adams. When I was watching their videos when they still gave out DVDs with their orders.
That's right.
They had their kind of they would always talk about the 2 or 3 step situation. And I didn't know that you could correct paint without doing all 3. I thought all 3 had to happen for it to work. Right.
Yeah. And one activates the other, which activates the other. And then all of a sudden the paint's clear.
And now, I mean, I'm using, anything from the coastline or if I'm using rehab or whatever.
Yep.
And I'm like, hey, if I get 60 to 70% in one shot, I'm happy.
I think that's what's great about the offerings at TRC is that that no matter which one of those brands that you go with or system that you go with, you're going to be able to follow. You're going to be able to follow it pretty easily and get the results that you're looking for in a simple system.
Look at
What's
this
up,
guy.
Purdy? You didn't miss much. We got Ace on the show. We got Lucas on the show.
You know what? Speak Purdy. Taylor had to bring him sushi.
Why?
I'm jealous. My dad had sushi for lunch. Tell me.
Working from home, getting sushi delivered. Jeez. Wins Grand Ambassador of the Year and turns into a basic.
What a diva.
What can I say? What is he rich now or something? Just eating sushi every day?
I think so.
Getting it delivered to him? That's crazy.
That Grand Ambassador money hits
that
different.
Grand Ambassador.
You saw those crumble cookies he brought in or chip.
That was.
Did he bring crumble or chips?
Crumble.
That's what it was.
I'm so happy I had the self-control to not have any. I would I'll be honest. I will say it publicly here. Yes, chip is probably a little bit better personally, but that's because we have a crumble.
Wrong.
So I'm kind of immune to it. But that being said, I'd rather make the cookies at home personally.
I love
Oh,
homemade
man.
cookies, man.
That website sucks. We got it pulled up and everything.
Oh,
Nice this.
don't worry, we're not going to sit and roast it. That's
No, I'm just kidding.
He's a blessed man.
Oh,
$9
man.
for that
So-
sushi. Okay.
So wow, that's a okay. I don't know that I trust $9 sushi in a place that's landlocked. But
Yeah.
you do you.
He's probably watching from the bathroom right now.
Anyway, I want to talk about Diamond Tough. How long have you been doing this? It seems, I mean, you got cars every single week. Like, you're killing it. I see your reels. I see what you're doing. I've seen your car. It's pristine. Tell me about this. I want to know about this.
So Diamond Tough started shortly after I started working at TRC because I knew I wanted to. So when I first got to TRC, that's when I really figured out as far as the automotive world goes. I was like, detailing's my thing. I love it. Started doing it, and I became weirdly obsessed with it, and I still am to this day. Like, it's kind of all I think about. It's an issue, but
is it all you talk about too? Because like I need tips on like shutting it off when I talk to my wife, because she
my roommates. I think sometimes my roommates, like, I as much as they want to be supportive, they look at me sometimes and they're like, "Bro, it's 9 o'clock. Like, come on, we're just trying to hang out." I'm like, yeah. Like, hey, dude, look at this new product. You know,
smell this.
What are those?
I bring a new soap home. I'm like, dude, you got to smell this. Like,
my wife's sick of it. It comes right out of the box. I go smell test, and I hand it to her, like mosey over. It's like, it's a problem. But anyway, so I didn't mean to interrupt.
Sushis and sashimis, baby.
But
shout out to
when I
television.
figured out that I wanted to get into detailing, I was like, okay, before I start, charging people for this, I should probably make sure that I'm actually decent at it.
Yeah.
So for a while, for like a couple months, I was actually doing cars for free, just like posting on, my Instagram or my Snapchat or whatever. Like, hey, hit me up, come bring a car over, let me do it.
Snapchat pulls are wild. Oh my God.
You get some crazy reactions.
Hey, it's like 2 a.m. Hey, girl, you up? You want your car done? I don't want anything to do with you. I just wanted your car.
What's funny about that is when I finally got to the point where I was like, you know what? Like, it's time to launch the business. I made my Instagram. I started, I built out my first sheet of pricing, which was stupid low, but, probably worked at the time for how good I was.
Yep.
And then people were still asking, like, hey, you still doing free details? I'm like, no, this is how much I charge. Never heard back from those people.
Oh, no, dude. No, if they ever got something for free from you, they're not coming back when you got pricing next to that.
That's that red color. I remember that bumper. I remember that being posted.
That was a fun one.
Was shocked. Yeah, that was pretty nuts.
I was pretty proud of that one.
Wild.
What'd you use here?
Thanks,
What'd
guys.
You use on this?
I'll tell you exactly what dude, I'm out in the garage. So this is like the first ever interactive live stream. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, garage tour.
Here's the sauce.
When people are prepared. There it is.
This is what was used right here.
Jace Price, the most jacked guy in the building.
That's right.
He's a freaking action figure. But Last Cut Plus, that's the sauce right there.
Right on, man. Yeah, that's a very big difference.
Yeah.
Blue wool, and then finished with yellow foam and hyper polish.
Heck yeah, baby.
Nice combo.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you've got some nice foot. Look, he's got the brands here. He's doing it, dude.
Yeah, I'm doing what I can.
He's got his
I'm still learning how to make content. You know what
man,
I
that
mean?
McCall flex. Holy crap.
Flex, man. You know what? And I'm so bummed that I could have met Lucas like 9 months earlier. If I
was supposed to meet Joey for the first time in Monterey, California, and you know who called out sick?
On my home turf.
Joey called out sick.
It was me. I was sick.
You know,
I'm the problem. It's me.
If it makes you feel any better, Joey. So I was there for 3 days. So I know the event's like a week long, but me and Nate flew down there on that Wednesday. Something like that. But the last 3 days, and it sucks too, because it's like my one and only work trip that I went on. So I was super stoked. Went down to Monterey. First day, banged out a bunch of cars. I was like, this is freaking crazy. Second day, woke up sicker than a dog. Second day, I pretty much hung out at the hotel all day. And then third day, I woke up and I was like, okay, well, it's the quail, so I have to go. So like, I mean, I was still struggling, but I made it through the day. But I got sick too on that trip, unfortunately.
That
Dang.
sucks, man.
Yeah.
I gave it
Man,
to you remotely,
sucked.
apparently. Shit.
Yeah.
That's but that like
It's
having
Joey's
to hang in a hotel is like torture.
Oh, by
You know.
myself too. And it's like, dude, those
Yeah.
are long days. So I was just like, it got to the
Yeah,
point
dude,
where
and
it
like
got noon.
knowing
And I was like,
knowing what everyone else is out there doing, and you're like,
Yeah,
that's
dude.
my thing. Like,
I'm like, dude, I could be grinding right now. I could be making these cars look perfect.
I could be getting
Yeah.
cool pictures and stuff.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
that's a big bummer, dude. I didn't know that you were sick, man. That's
You
It happens. Hopefully,
you-
there's another time.
I was gonna say, do you get a redo this year, or are there plans
We'll
for
see.
you guys?
I
Okay.
haven't been told, but
Okay.
cross our fingers. If Dane's watching, maybe put in a word for your boy.
I'm hoping for a redo as well. That would be
That
very
would-
nice if Keith's watching. You know,
That'd
Put
be
me
nice.
and Joey in there. We'll friggin' make
You know-
Bugattis look like
we're the
pristine.
tall ones. Maybe there's roofs out there that need to be clean.
You know,
That's
Keith.
what I'm
You know,
saying.
Keith is watching. Bob and Dave are watching. Sydney's probably watching. She might have some pull. She got
Sydney,
more
dude,
pull.
do what you gotta
know
do,
what?
man.
Dave's
Get me
not
out there
watching.
again.
I'm sorry, Bob's not watching. Bob is in Portugal. Bob's on
Hey.
a nice.
Oh, he's having a good
vacation.
time. Good for him.
Maybe we're his midnight snack right now.
It's
I don't
possible.
know.
Hi, Bob.
I mean, not likely, but possible.
Hi, Bob.
But
We love you, Bob.
I absolutely love that.
Great
Hello,
guy.
Bob. Love
So
you.
you did this is your Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing. This is or do you have exceptions for people? You know,
Yeah,
maybe?
so
Okay.
during the summer, I'll take on like smaller jobs during the weekdays if I'm
Okay,
feeling
like a
like it.
wash
But
or
for the
something.
most part, it's a weekend thing.
Mhm.
Okay, cool,
Yeah,
sweet, dude. That's
I love that.
That's like I don't know. I think your 9 to 5 is like the perfect like just partnership for the side hustle. I don't even want to call it a side hustle because
So it just goes hand in hand. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's so. But yeah, like you've probably got it worse than me because at least like during my 9 to 5, like I have other stuff that I need to think about, and then I go out and like do the.
In my old days,
stuff.
detailing, dude.
Yeah, dude. So you're
24/7.
Your poor
Yeah.
roommates. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Do, like-
shout out to them. They put up with it.
Do they like? Are they ever on the? Did they ever pay you to like do the cars? Like, do you test products from their cars?
Well,
Or-
as far as like testing goes, so R&D, you know, we have scheduled time during work that we do R&D.
Yep.
And this isn't something that I'm required to do, but a lot of the times I will take products home and use them as homework just because that's what I like to do. I truly enjoy it. It's my passion.
Yeah.
So, you know, I actually
would-
don't have any stuff shown, luckily, but I bring stuff home all the time and they don't care as much. Like they know what I do. So I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, my car's clean for the most part. It's all coated. So I'm like, you guys' cars are uncoated. Let me try some stuff. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you
So
always
I
have, a
have
junkyard,
multiple
right?
test cars. Yeah, exactly.
they can
I
sign a
got
little piece of
plenty of
paper.
test
It's
cars to
like,
play with.
like a little waiver. Hey, sorry, yeah, screwed up. You
Right.
signed this, so it's not on me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so how do you feel about do you ever test like because I don't. Do you ever test stuff on a customer's car? Like I like to use my go-tos because like obviously
It's
like
safe, tried and true.
I'm being paid for my time and I don't want to waste time, right? Like I don't
Yep.
want to waste time learning something new.
Exactly.
So yeah, I try to stick to my tried and true when I do it. So
Mhm.
wanted
No,
to
I
see.
have my Lukey B Diamond Tough
Ooh,
spec
Lukey
list,
B.
and that's
Lukey B
what I
spec,
stick
I
to
like
for
that.
clients. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Man.
But no,
no.
customer cars, I won't test new products unless I've tried them before and I'm confident in them. But for the most part,
Yeah.
I have my list of stuff that it's tried and true for me, and that's all I'll do.
Give us a couple. Just give us a sneak. What are a couple of your go-tos when you
Go-tos?
Oh.
Yeah,
Shoot, man.
something
We
that
got-
you use in every detail. Yeah,
Right
there it
here.
is.
Let's
The good
go.
the good
That
pink
bottle
stuff.
proportioner is
There we
second
go.
to none. I don't think they.
He doesn't got time to measure stuff.
Just quick
Brake
release.
Buster.
Oh
Brake
snap!
buster,
Right there.
straight.
In the wide mouth, no less.
Mm.
And then soaps, I'm kind of a soap whore, dude. I'll try whatever.
Dude.
If it smells good and I think and I know it's good,
Yeah.
I got like 6 different soaps that I switch between every time.
I've gotten rid of a lot. I think at my highest I was like 36 or 37 different types of soaps that I had.
Jeez.
And I've
Yeah, I haven't
luckily
gotten
given
that
some away.
crazy.
I've sold stuff like and then I still buy more. Like I have a couple that I bought and I go, why did I buy a new pH neutral soap? Because
Yeah.
I wanted to see what it smelled like. That's why
Yeah.
It's exactly what I do.
I will say, like, still to this day, some of my favorite soaps were the cherry scent in Jew Wash. I freaking love that. And also, I know it's not TRC, but Lithium Double Tap was nuts. That eucalyptus was pretty delicious.
Don't do it.
And
Lithium Double Tap's very good soap.
And I mean, GFX is hard to beat. I know some people could really care less of it. Like, he's got it.
GSF was my first 5-liter from KCX.
Yeah,
because I like that soap so much.
These are the 5 that I've been rocking with these days. We got
GFX,
you got the GSF, ADS, Coconut Earth Action. You know,
hell yeah,
we got it all.
Yes. Oh man, snow freaking hits.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, but Coconut Earth.
It's like a I don't know, like,
just makes you happy.
It's like a buttery coconut smell. Like, it's almost like you can smell the like butter in it. It's weird.
But you know what though, is that with the UK typically being fairly gloomy and rainy, they need the nice scents to kind of boost you up, like you're in a tropical environment.
Big serotonin boost.
Oh, huge.
Oh, what?
We'll
they changed Lithium Double Tap?
All right.
Double Tap. Never tried it. That's on the list now.
What did they change?
GSF is still the most goated soap in my opinion.
Yes.
It's very good.
It's one of the only ones that literally like makes my mouth water when I smell it. Like, I'm like,
it's good every time
because it smells like a red Starburst, and like, see, I'm starting to salivate a little bit thinking of eating some Starburst. So,
although ADS Shampoo Plus has also been one that I've been rocking with a lot.
They're both sitting right next to my pressure washer. Like, they're interchangeable as far as I'm
Coconut Earth though. I got it mixed up right here, ready to go for this weekend.
What's your ratio?
6 to 9.
I'm not crazy. Every soap 10 to 1. So I got 550 milliliters water and like 30 mils of each.
Man, I made the mistake of doing like 100 mils of GSF to 600 mils of water the other day.
Oh God!
And like the foam was in my driveway for like a day and a half. After.
That's OG level right there.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is, but for GSF specifically, I still do that. I'll still throw
it's
freaking 100 mils worth.
It was I couldn't stop myself.
You know what I can't stop, Joey?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Tier list.
What do you say? Time for your tier list, Lucas.
What do you
tier
say?
List, eh?
We are a little bit tight for time today. I do have some driving to do after this, so
he's going to Calgary.
I want to respect your time.
Hopefully, he gets to do a little Carzilla stop. I don't know.
Hopefully,
go ahead.
Do I see Ricky Bobby? Yes. All right, here we go. So our tiers are Afro, Bangs, Perm, Crew Cut, and Bald.
That's awesome.
Yep. So the first one on our list is the ever so famous Hex Lights. Where do these sit?
These are better than Hex Lights, dude. These were freak. I got 6 fixtures for like $100 on Amazon. So throw those down to. They look cool on pictures, but for detailing, Bald. They're terrible.
Okay.
Bald, terrible. I'm not even trying to be an OG guy. Those are terrible.
Yeah. Did anyone actually pull those from the dumpster truck that showed up?
Or did anyone actually get those?
They actually got thrown in the back of a truck and they were never seen again.
Yeah, okay, good.
Because the guy who drove that truck probably has them in his garage now.
I'm thrilled
he probably has them.
I'm thrilled they did the truck thing because if they were in the dumpster, somebody would have crawled in there 1,000%.
By someone, he means him.
That's right.
And the next, and he's hiding behind my name. It says Joey.
The next one is Yeti buckets. Where are they sitting for you? We kind of asked this for a lot of people. Okay.
Here we go.
That's okay. We're neutral. We're
here's one thing I want to tell. Yeti buckets are not insulated. Can we like stop saying this? Like they're not insulated. If you look up Yeti buckets online, the first thing that pops up in their description is these are not insulated. Like
that means their equivalent of Lucas Blaine in customer service has gotten that question every single day to cause that to go up.
Oh God.
What the misconception is they are thicker plastics. They they will keep your liquids cold. Like I've seen a bunch of tests on YouTube where people do different coolers.
Yeah.
They do keep them cooler and hotter than other things, but they look freaking sick. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'd say Perm I'd put them right in that category.
Okay.
They look sick. That's what puts them up for me. If I was bougie like that, I'd have them.
Well, speaking of bougie, where's OG sitting in your life? Afro. The OG spec. Afro.
Come on now.
There we go.
I got the OG.
Come on now. Oh, I
mounts.
love that.
I just upgraded my pressure washer through them this week.
Oh, let's go.
Dang.
What'd you get? 1322.
I pulled the trigger on a Comet.
Hell yeah, baby. Hell
Nice.
yeah.
I'm
Oh, I
hyped.
love that. I think that Comet rips, man. I think that's
Dude,
The
it's
pressure
freaking
washer
great.
day is exciting.
yeah.
Well, because I've been
Get
rocking
to
with
see
the
if shit's
1.2.
leaking.
Right, exactly, dude. I love it.
You've been rocking
I
the
got the
1.2
Ryobi.
Ryobi. Yep. Okay.
Yep. And then I've been thinking, Josh Brodel has been trying to talk me into the Comet for a while because it makes sense for my setup. I'm in a rental. I don't want to do a crazy
Sure.
wall mount setup.
Yeah.
And so he actually let me take his home last weekend. He's like, hey, go try it out.
Nice.
Dude, I turned it on for like 5 seconds. And I was like, yeah, I'm placing
Done.
an order.
Sold.
So
Nice.
Sold, baby.
got that. I'm hyped.
So the TRC wash pad.
The pad,
Mhm.
Afro. Come on now.
Afro. Let's go. And,
Best in the game.
This is a okay. So skipping the order a little bit. So I know you have Hero there. Are you using the UBS for that? Are you like are you a towel guy with rinseless? You a
No.
noodle guy?
Sponge guy. 100%.
Okay.
I have
Okay.
no time for towels. Like it's
We
got to
said-
be
I'm
like
gonna-
a really sensitive finish for me to use.
I'm gonna
towels
throw
for
it in
this.
bangs because
Okay.
there's things
Okay.
I'm trying to push when it comes to the rinseless sponge.
Oh,
so
let's
until that
go.
happens,
Okay.
we're gonna keep it in bangs.
Okay.
Let's go.
That's all
Let's
I'm gonna say
go.
about
Drop
that.
Dropping
that.
little nuggets here.
I will have to say, Anthony feels a little diabolical using the chenilles. I can't wrap my head around the chenilles.
no,
I
Oh,
used
yeah.
to. I can get
Yeah.
behind it, but not better than the sponge. Come on now.
No, the sponge is just so
Yeah.
efficient.
Exactly.
the,
It's so good.
And a somewhat new addition, a couple years old now.
Oh, the wet kitty midi.
Wet kitty
Oh,
midi,
dude.
the tough
Dude, I
muff.
know it's a love-hate thing. I know people hate them or love them. I
Yeah.
love them. I'm gonna throw them. I'm gonna put them in bangs.
Okay, I
there's-
think that's where I'd put them too.
Yeah.
I don't really have the what do you call it, like kind of the texture issues that a lot of people have.
Well, I wear gloves,
But,
so
Yeah, I got to glove up for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I
No
think
question.
I still prefer the microfiber mitt though.
if we could get a finger stitch in that thing, then it would be an afro.
yeah,
Okay.
or just like a wool glove.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And I know you kind of have to be in the know. I know you have a little bit at your desk.
He did let me
But,
sniff it.
The blue bead maker. Where's this sitting for you?
I mean, bead maker's awesome, but
You can
think
be
bead
honest.
maker
Blue
smells
bead maker.
better.
Blue
It's-
bead
it's-
maker has been away for a long time. You can be honest.
oh yeah. The scent's not my favorite. I'm gonna keep it at perm.
Yeah.
Okay,
And like
okay.
I sniffed it and I don't know if that's just like what it smells like or like because it's like aged blue bead maker, like that's what it smells like.
It was old too, so maybe
Yeah.
that's the issue. But
I didn't
get
catch
where we
any
were going.
summer drink or
Mhm.
whatever.
the mango's better.
Right.
Yeah. Every day.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
100%.
And the last one you may
Yeah.
be a little bit partial to the first gen Mazda Speed 3.
Oh man, you're talking about this bad boy right
Woo!
here.
there.
There it is.
I think I know.
Oh, we're gonna
It's
throw that
so
in
clean,
bangs.
man. It's so clean.
Oh,
I-
throwing it
we
in
were-
bangs, eh? All right.
Okay.
You know, I like it, but I don't love it.
He must
I'll
have
say that.
plans
Yeah.
for that too.
Mm-hmm.
I want an RS, man.
Ooh,
I think that's my next car.
as long as the head
Right.
gaskets have been changed, we're set.
Yeah, but they had a recall on those, so they're all good.
Fair enough.
Assuming the owner did the recall.
Yes.
Yes, that's very true.
I love a good recall. I got my sports monitor recall done today. Now I can see my PSI, my G's, and my oil
Yeah.
temperature on my screen that I should have had 4 years ago.
Oh God,
Anyway,
love that. But yeah, that's
Stuart-
that's our beautiful tier list. I hope everyone enjoyed that. Let me.
killer
yeah.
categories today.
That was awesome.
Killer
Yes.
categories today.
We had to go hair themed. Lucas is our hair guy.
That's what I do.
Well,
Yeah.
Lucas, we appreciate you taking your time out of your
Yeah, I
Friday
appreciate
night,
you
'cause
guys.
I know you probably got I mean,
Mhm.
you're young. It's a Friday. You probably got some cool shit to go do.
Yeah,
Or
man, dude, I'm
detailing,
hanging
I
out with my
don't know.
homies. No, I'm just kidding.
You can go clubbing I
Anytime.
don't know.
Yeah,
the
I'll
I'll
kids
always be
nowadays.
here for you guys.
I
Appreciate
think
it,
he
dude.
I think he can get into the club, but he can't participate in the inebriation in the
Well,
club.
22.
Yeah, bro. You just
Oh,
had
what?
Happy belated
Come
birthday,
on.
buddy.
Man,
Appreciate you,
okay.
man.
No,
Happy
let's-
birthday to
hold
Joe.
on.
It was his
Hold
birthday
on.
yesterday. So
Hold
His
on.
birthday's
We brought you
tomorrow.
on
Thank
for
you.
your this is your birthday episode. This is
Because it's
22.
the 22nd episode.
It's the 22nd episode.
Oh, I didn't even
Hey,
think
dude.
about that. Perfect.
Heck yeah. Look
it's
at
just
this.
for me.
Last year we got legal, and this year we got Lucas. I absolutely love it.
Right.
We're going up and up.
I'm here.
Maybe we can get Michael Jordan next week for 23. Who knows? Might be a bit of a
I doubt it, man. I doubt it.
Or you could get the GOAT, LeBron James. Let's get controversial.
Let's do it.
I've been seeing this. I don't watch basketball, but the Canadian invented game. Sorry. But yeah, the hockey. Let me pull it up.
Look, when Drew says he's got a hard out, and then he just keeps. I just let it go at that point. I let him take control.
But yes, the hockey playoffs are going on. The NHL are going on at the same time as the NBA. So I don't know. Some of the injuries were
more of a combat sports guy.
Yeah.
UFC, boxing, and then NFL and NBA.
But anyways, Google's telling me I can't pronounce Massachusetts. I can't pronounce it.
You got it.
But either which way.
Basically American.
Basically American. But yeah, no, Lucas, we thank you very much for joining on. I know this hour kind of flies by when we're rolling this.
It's already been an hour.
These things we're not being.
Dude, it really does, especially when we've done a couple of the 2 and 3 hour ones. Like the 1 hour ones feel like we're doing something wrong.
Yeah, exactly. But
time flies
but yeah,
when you're having fun.
I had a great time today.
But I hope everyone here has had some fun. Drop a like. We'll have this on the streaming platform soon. And
if you have any more questions for Lucas, leave them down in the comments below. And if he doesn't see them, we'll send it to him. We'll get answers for you. Whatever you got.
Absolutely.
So awesome. Well, everyone, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for having me, guys.